Did you know there is a strange theory claiming that mirrors can keep reflecting you even when you try to hide from them? It all starts with an experiment that has shocked millions of people online. Many believe that if they cover their reflection with a piece of paper or place an object in front of a mirror, they will completely disappear from view. However, when they change their viewing angle, the reflection appears again as if it had never disappeared, but that is only the beginning. On social media, there is also an idea that mirrors have some kind of memory. According to those who support this theory, some reflections seem to remain visible for a moment even after an object is removed, leading to all kinds of interpretations and mysteries. One of the most discussed videos shows a young woman recording herself in front of a mirror. Suddenly, many users claimed that the reflection seemed to move differently from her, fueling theories about unexplained phenomena. Although others believe it is all caused by visual effects or simple illusions, the footage continues to spark intense debate.
Hey fool, they made a humanoid Lucifer bot to help people in a disaster. So this thing right here is supposed to help people that's in a fire, that's in an earthquake, that's just in a natural disaster in general. Only thing I'm trying to understand is they created the damn bot, but they decided to put Lucifer head on top. Ball? Imagine this shit coming to help you in a building. You just see this shit staring at you like that. Nah, I'm good, fool. I don't need no help. Out of all designs, they designed it to look like that. Coincidence? From the all black to the face to the fucking horns. Some people say, oh, it's just engineering. They just engineered it to be like this. But why? So my question is to y'all, if you seen this Joan and you caught up in a little situation, you letting that Joan help you or not?
Yesterday, 49,000 migrants crossed into Spain from Morocco. I want y'all to look this up, y'all, and look at what border security is all about. I know a lot of people have a problem with ICE, they have a problem with stuff like that, but once you go looking at stuff like this, 49,000 people in a matter of hours, insanity. We need to protect our borders. No matter who we vote for, no matter who we like, we can't leave our door open for everybody. Stuff like this happens. Now, this whole crowd was men. That's the thing about it. No women. Look it up. Have a good day.
A U.S. company sold live phone locations of soldiers stationed at bases in Germany connected to live American nuclear weapons. Reporters didn't hack anything to find this. They bought it. A data broker was selling location pings pulled off of ordinary apps on the soldiers' phones. Weather app, game apps, the usual stuff sitting on your phone right now. And the trial ran straight onto the bases and out to the homes and bars around them. These are the people that are guarding the most sensitive weapons the country owns, and their movements are just a product that you can buy. The video game Watch Dogs built an entire city on the idea that anyone's location is just data that you can pull. That was the hook for the video game, but turns out there's a real invoice for it. The military literally spends billions locking down these weapons, but the men guarding them are simply being sold through the free apps on their phone. The free apps on your phone that are secretly tracking you is exactly why I'm building Paranoia. It scores every company you use based off of how much of your privacy and data they give away, the fine print you agree to but never read, and it's all backed up with the receipts to prove it in just one place. You can check it out through the link in my bio, but as always, think about it, let me know what you think.
It's a lot worse than we thought. Spanish officials now estimate that nearly 50,000 migrants crossed into the city of Ceuta from Morocco in the last 24 hours alone. That's a nearly 60% increase of the city's 83,000 population in less than a day. At least 18 people have died with bodies found in the water. The Spanish military has been deployed. Authorities on the ground say that the border is now totally collapsed. So why the hell is this all happening now? Well, firstly, if you look at the map, the Spanish city in question is actually on the African continent. So these migrants haven't swam all the way across the Strait of Gibraltar. But interestingly, entering by swimming is kind of important, because earlier this month, Spain's Supreme Court ruled that immediate deportations can only be applied to migrants who cross by land, like climbing over a physical border fence. Meaning, migrants intercepted while swimming cannot be removed without due process, legal representation, and the ability to claim asylum. Now, is that what has caused this latest surge? Well, it's disputed. Officials believe it could be one influencing factor, but not the sole reason, because also many yesterday crossed by land as well. But what happens now to these 49,000 people? Well, Spain say that they intend to deport as many people as quickly as possible despite the Supreme Court's ruling, but other countries seem to believe that the damage may have already been done. France announced an increase in security at their border with Spain, while Italy is threatening to suspend Spain from EU's internal open border policy. But as we know more, I'll keep you guys up.
So hospitals freak me out. I could never work in a hospital. This video was taken in a hospital chapel. It's security footage of the chapel. Now just watch. A little boy comes into frame. He comes around. He goes to the very back of the chapel and just disappears. Okay? Now a few minutes later, a security guard comes, checks the chapel. There's nobody there, no child in there, and the only exit is the front of the chapel. Now, the staff of this hospital fully believes that this is a ghost of a little boy who had just passed away, just a few days before this video was taken. And if you watch closely, like I said, the little boy gets to the back of the chapel and just disappears. The security guard obviously didn't find a kid anywhere, didn't see a kid on any of the other cameras, but the whole staff was saying that there was a little boy who had passed away, and his family would take him to the chapel every day to pray, and they believe his spirit is still there. For all y'all that have worked in hospitals out there, have you seen stuff like this before? And what do you guys think? Do you think that this is a ghost or just a very strange camera glitch? Let me know your thoughts on this one.
A Malaysia Airlines pilot has been arrested after allegedly flying into Indonesia with more than 70,000 ecstasy pills in his luggage. Indonesian authorities say the 39-year-old had just operated Malaysia Airlines Flight 727 from Kuala Lumpur to Jakarta when customs officers flagged his suitcase during X-ray screening. Inside, they said they found 14 packages containing more than 26 kilograms of ecstasy along with methamphetamine. To make matters worse, police say the pilot also tested positive for methamphetamine, ecstasy, and cocaine, and admitted he was promised roughly $12,000 to deliver the shipment. And shockingly, now he faces charges that could possibly carry the death penalty.
If someone's dealing with a narcissist, what do they have to do in order to manage that situation?
Well, first is recognizing that they're going to devalue us. Now, sometimes they devalue you by not inviting you to meetings or sharing information, but many times it's by the way they treat you, yelling at you, being disparaging. So what do we do when we have people like that? Number one is recognize what you're dealing with.
So today I was in my car in a parking lot, and some Mormons got out of their car, and I did what normal people do when they see Mormons getting out of their car or walking up to their door. They hide because you don't want to talk to them. And if any of my followers are Mormons, I guess you stay with me on what I'm about to say. Or I guess the ones that are upset about it, I can watch my follower count go down again. From now on, I think I'm going to stay. I'm going to talk. And I'm going to ask them how they feel about Abel or Cain and the whole Bigfoot story, and why their opinions on black people changed all of a sudden. Because that's a big one right there. I've seen some pretty wild animations that got leaked out of the Mormon church of what they used to teach people of who black people were. And why there's only certain garments you can wear. I'm not just making fun of Mormons on this. I just want an interesting conversation, and I think I'm going to record it. You know, maybe I could start doing those street interviews like all those other people. So I'm going to go over a few things with them. Black people, Bigfoot, soaking, those weird garments. Are they trying to push their dirty soda agenda on us all, and that's why they have dirty sodas at all major fast food restaurants right now? I don't know. What I'm saying, folks, is stop running away from Mormons. Let's start having good conversation. And make sure you bring up Bigfoot.
Warning, a man is begging to be pulled out of the water while flesh-ripping hungry creatures swarm below. And not only is no one listening to his screams, but they're filming it and laughing. People were terrified after viewers zoomed in on what this man jumped into, with people swearing the things underneath him can strip skin from bone. And many warning the ones filming knew exactly what was in that water, got him in it, and refused to get him out. With his voice and what happens next being shown completely uncensored. Haunting footage shows him dragging himself up to the frame and slipping right back in, screaming, "Get me out," with people swearing one had already closed around his legs, and some saying his screams changed the second he realized no one was coming. But it gets much darker, as nearly every version of the video cuts while he is still in the water, with no video of him after, no response, and no word on whether he got out. But then the full video did actually surface, filmed from 2 separate angles at the exact same second. It was a dare to whoever jumped into the crab tank. And according to everyone else around him, he did get out uninjured and $28 richer.
I'll be posting more content. Definitely out there on the water. I'll be going live next.
The artificial intelligence firm Anthropic has revealed that its Claude AI model hacked into 3 organizations after escaping from an isolated test environment. The company admitted that a misconfiguration by a third-party testing partner mistakenly left the AI connected to the live internet while it was attempting simulated hacking exercises. The disclosure follows a similar incident at rival firm OpenAI, where its models hacked the online platform Hugging Face.
You will know them by their fruits, and I am sorry, #not sorry, for whoever this triggers. Could someone please explain to me why the first thing that Jelly Roll did when he got into some money was build a bar in Nashville, Tennessee? Millions of people are praising him for his redemption story along with all of social media, but what the heck is this? Even open on Sundays, apparently. Now it's time for everybody to come into my comments saying, the Sabbath isn't on the Sunday, it's on the Saturday. Well, there's no rest for the wicked because luckily they're open on Saturdays too. Let's take a peek inside.
This floor is completely dedicated to his wife, Bunny XO. This floor has a larger-than-life portrait of his wife hanging over a huge bar, as well as a very spacious dance floor with nightclub-style lighting and even an area in the corner for bottle service. There's a Bunny XO photo op area and other...
What's this? What the heck is this? You guys are calling Christians hypocrites for holding Jelly Roll and his wife accountable for praising Jesus, but having built a bar in Nashville, Tennessee, like they need one, and having "In Hose We Trust." Ew! Gross! Hypocritical. But that's not it, sadly. Just wait.
Roll and Bunny XO. Then on the 4th floor, you have an area that can be open to the public or closed for private events. This area is called Buddy's Back Room, and it pays tribute to Jelly Roll's late father, Buddy DeFord.
So on the way to a private VIP room, which, by the way, who knows how much debauchery goes on in there, a room that is dedicated to your wife who worked in the industry but is in remembrance of your father, this is so odd, there is this sign. And this sign says, halfway to heaven or halfway to hell. This literally feels like some fallen angel type stuff. But let's pretend like we don't see the spiritual warfare happening in this bar and finish the rest of the tour, shall we?
Pretty epic as well. The final floor is the 5th floor, which is an indoor-outdoor rooftop bar.
It's not odd to you guys at all that a man who praises Jesus all the time has more things about the devil in his bar than he does about the Jesus he serves. We're just going to ignore the spiritual warfare happening right now. Even if you did a little bit of research of what cherubs are, this is insane to me. They said it, not me. And you guys could come at me in the comments all that you want, but I got a really, really good gut feeling that you're all being played. You guys are being played.
Anybody else find this strange? What happened to Lil Wayne? Does this even look like the same person to you? Because people are saying that this is a completely different person. I don't know what is going on, but when you look at a side-by-side comparison, the right side of your screen compared to the left side of your screen, what do you notice? Do you notice anything bizarre about this besides me? Because something definitely ain't right about any of this. You have to admit this. And again, why are all of these celebrities and these famous people, why are they looking different? What is going on anymore? Because this is the person I remember right here, Lil Wayne. This is the person I remember. And I'm sure that this is the person that most, if not all of you, remember. Again, people are saying that this isn't the same guy. That's what people are saying. What do you think? Do you think that this is the same person? Because you have to admit there are a lot of bizarre things happening anymore. And again, why are all of these famous people looking different? What is really going on? What do you think? Comment down below.
This is either a ghost or a demon on the TV show The Goldbergs.
What's up, America? New plan to cut water usage to 3 states from the Colorado River. All while several new proposed data centers are being given the green light to use more water from the Colorado River. Oh yes, that is right. Water for thee and none for me. So the states of California, Nevada, and Arizona have proposed a plan to limit water from the Colorado River going to their people for usage. That includes drinking water, small business, watering your lawn, whatever the fuck you want to use water for. In those 3 states, California, Arizona, and Nevada, they're planning on cutting access to water coming from the Colorado River because of low water levels, right? Major drought, not enough water, really affecting people? Sounds like shit. At the same time, those very states that are going to be restricting access to water from the Colorado River have green-lighted new data center projects that'll be using water from the Colorado River. And those data centers are given exemptions to use that water. So the general population is going to be cut off in some cases because of drought conditions and low water levels in the Colorado River. While those exact same states are allowing exemptions and green lighting for high water usage for data centers coming from the Colorado River. So they made exemptions for data centers and then cut you off because the data centers getting water is more important to them than you or your farm animals or whatever it is getting water to survive. The governments of Arizona, Nevada, and California have all just engaged in that. Now, general water usage from the Colorado River across these 3 states will be cut by 20% over the next 2 years. Oh, but here's some interesting data. The state of Arizona itself states that they're going to need approximately 800 to 900% more water, with Phoenix, Arizona needing at least a 10 times increase because of the data centers. Now, in some areas, they're averaging about 17 to 20% increase of water coming from the Colorado River. Interesting, that number. Nevada states that they need a 150% increase in the amount of water for the data centers, specifically the Lake Tahoe region, which unfortunately the very wealthy people there are having power fluctuations. Oh no. And of course, the state of California states they need approximately a 250% increase in water usage for the data centers coming into those counties in that state. So you see what's happening here unless you have fucking brain damage, right? They're green lighting and opening up water access to data centers throughout these 3 states while cutting off access to water for you, the general population, in the same 3 states: California, Nevada, Nevada, and Arizona. Once again, these governments in these states believing that water access should be for data centers, not for you, not for your farm and your animals or your crops or any other thing. Data centers only. Fuck you. Now, you see, this is why I've proposed desalinization plants on the east and west coasts and piping that water in. We desperately need new water, and you're getting rid of resources that are already dwindling. We need a resupply. If you're not going to stop stealing the water from the general population, then we're going to need something fucking else. So obviously, these piles of human shit interested in data centers aren't going to stop, so we need to build desalinization plants so we can refill the aquifers and the rivers like the Colorado River these fuckfaces are stealing from. Or here's an idea. How about data centers use desalinized water and not our precious fresh water resources, specifically out in the West Coast region where there's no fucking water? You goddamn fuckfaces, I swear to Christ, you're worthless.
I think the ocean creatures are very bizarre.
How about those giant squid that they found on that oil tanker?
Mm-hmm.
They had a camera down there.
Yeah, and they saw that one come through.
Giant squid with the crazy, like crab leg.
With the crab legs? Is he walking along the bottom?
No, it's got like, it looks like it has appendages.
What?
Like with the joints. Yeah.
No, haven't seen that.
Oh my God. So they had a camera deep under this oil rig and they spotted this thing with these insane long appendages. Look at this.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's different.
Look at the length of those. What are those things that dangle from it? What'd you call those things?
Tentacle?
But look at the legs on it. It's like an insect.
Yeah, that's very bizarre.
Like when you see that thing underwater floating around like that looks like an alien.
Totally.
Like, look at that thing.
It's crazy.
I mean, if you saw that underwater, you would shit your pants.
100%. 100%.
And it's 100 feet.
Yeah.
It's huge.
It's nuts.
I mean, is it that big? How big they say it was? Didn't they say the tentacles go crazy long?
It looks like it.
Yeah, they said the thing was enormous, but that the length of the actual tentacles was really long. So strange. And this, before they got this video footage of it, they didn't even know something.
Found 3 major Mandela effect residues in newspaper archive. Luke, I am your father. Darth Vader in Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back. Luke, I am your father. Everybody remembers that line, correct? Guess what? In this timeline, Darth Vader never said that. So Darth Vader did not say, Luke, I am your father in this timeline. Which brings us to 1983, the Democrat Chronicle newspaper. A whole page dedicated to Star Wars in the new film, Return of the Jedi. As you see, this is written by Jack Garner. This is the Democrat Chronicle's newspaper official film critic writing on the biggest movie of the year. This is a full-page write-up. This man goes through how the fans are, how the film's received, the past characters, the plot of this movie, the plot of the past movies. This is the biggest movie of the year. Full-page ad with official graphics. With all that being said, how does Jack Garner describe that epic scene between Darth Vader and Luke? What does Darth Vader say? Luke, I am your father. This is an official write-up with official graphics and official characters. This is a big deal. This is very important for the Democrat Chronicle of 1983. All that being said, do you think this man just misquoted Darth Vader? If it's not real, how does it exist? These are starting to get hard to dismiss. It's just harder to change print. You just can't catch everything. So what do you think? You think this is a misprint? Do you think this is a Mandela effect? Or do you think they be gaslighting us? Let me know. It's us.
Still have people that don't believe that the entertainment industry is demonic. You still have people that don't believe that they perform rituals in the entertainment industry to get to the top. Well, if the entertainment industry is squeaky clean, then why would somebody that was in the entertainment industry have to give his life to God all over again? But you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit.
You gave your life to God. You went from Santeria to Jesus.
Yeah, I did.
Do you feel like you sold your soul at one point?
Listen.
I thought about maybe I did because I was getting what I wanted. I would make offerings and I was getting everything I wanted.
Listen.
I got the bitch, the cars, the condos, the TV shows, the this, the that, everything was popping. I beat an armed robbery charge on camera. It works. Is it real? Like, it's like
it's as real as this table is, my brother.
when you say sacrifices, like what? Like chickens or like
chickens, anything. They tell you whatever you need done. They'll tell you a specific animal to get for it.
Who tells you?
Your Babalawo.
Would it be like a voodoo priest?
Yeah.
So you go to him like, look, I need to beat this case.
Yeah.
All right, go get a chicken.
I had to go.
This is what you
get a
gotta
turtle.
do.
I had to get a turtle. They did the tongue, and they wrapped it in some stuff and did some stuff, and it was like, it's done.
Is it true that the bigger sacrifices you make, the bigger blessings you'll get?
Of course.
It's really like that?
Of course. So why not?
Because I mean, like, look,
whack a human.
Now, you got to take everything with a grain of salt, because we all know that everybody's not a part of those activities. But if you listen to everything that he said without saying names, he was saying names. This man said he had to revert back to Christianity, which means the God that some of them are serving is not the God that most of us are serving. So now ask yourself, is it fame you really want? And how far will you go to get that fame? I'm out.
So we are here at Chichen Itza. Check us out.
When you're at the pyramid and clap in front of the slopes, the sound travels up into the cavity, echoing back the sound of the Quetzal bird, a sacred bird of the mines. This is due to the unique geometric precision of this site, which allows sound waves to bounce back in certain ways. 2. There are pyramids within the pyramids. The mines often built on top of old buildings, and in this pyramid there are at least 2 others. There's also a secret entrance that leads you into the previous stage. 3. There's water beneath. A body of water was discovered below the pyramid with the belief that the cenote itself is full of secrets. 4. The pyramid is a calendar. This temple is also a representation of the Mayan civil calendar, having 4 stairways, each with 91 steps, adding to 364. Including the base at the platform, it equals 365. 5. The serpent equinox. The pyramid was also used as an instrument to observe and mark the solstices and equinoxes. In March and September, the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl can be seen descending down the pyramid, or coming down to earth. The Temple of Kukulkan is just one of many examples of how the ancients were anything but primitive. It demonstrates the advanced knowledge of astronomy, geometry, and advanced acoustics the Mayans possessed. And that's why this is one of the 7 modern wonders of the world.
The Russian sleep experiment. If you have not heard about it, grab some popcorn, get comfy, because here we go. So this happened in 1940. Where during World War II, Russian researchers took 5 subjects that they deemed political prisoners of the state. And their plan was to keep them awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. And they would be carefully checking the oxygen, making sure they don't die, right? But this was before cameras, so they only had microphones and then like a 5-inch thick glass window. The chambers were also filled with water, books, cots, and dried food to sustain the whole experiment. The first 5 days, no complaining. But then again, they were also falsely promised that they would be freed if they submitted to this test and did not sleep the whole time. So then day 5, they start experiencing severe paranoia, where all the subjects stop talking to each other and they begin whispering in the microphones. After 9 days, one subject starts screaming on the top of their lungs for 3 hours straight until their vocal cords tear. And then it's only squeaks after that. And then a second subject starts screaming. The weird part is that the other captives that weren't participating in the screaming had no reaction, as if it wasn't happening. They were just whispering in the microphones, and then they began tearing pages out of the books and using their feces to smear on the windows until they covered the window completely. After the window was covered, the screaming stopped, and so did the whispering in the microphone. 3 days passed where the researchers kept checking the microphone hourly. And then the oxygen also indicated that all 5 were still alive, so they thought this was impossible for there to be no sound and 5 people. So the morning of day 14, the researchers did what they said they were not going to do. They said that they were going to use the intercom inside the chamber to provoke a response. They said that they were going to be opening the chambers to test the microphone, and you will not believe what one of the subjects responded. It gives me the chills. My video is getting a little long, so come back from my...
Okay guys, breaking news. It is official. YouTuber Young Philly has been found not guilty of rape. And after the verdicts were read out, reports say that Philly was brought to tears. Because remember, this man lost almost everything after these allegations were made public. And he's been stuck in Australia facing the legal consequences all the way since 2024. 2 years of your life gone. But it is not over, because the jury did find him guilty of 2 assault charges, which he will have to go back and face sentencing for, and that is for biting the accuser during the sexual encounter, and then 3 other rape charges resulted in a hung jury. So he could face a retrial on those. But what happens next is going to be extremely interesting, because what happens to all the creators and the brands that dropped him? You know, the FA and Marks and Spencer's, they pulled a cooking show he had already filmed. Foot Asylum, who he represented for years, they cut ties. He had live shows cancelled. He was forced to stop his podcast with his best friend Chunks. He was torn apart online. You know, people compared him to Diddy at the time, saying, ain't no party like a Philly party. Will the Sidemen put back his 20v1 video after they removed it, after the allegations came out? Either way, huge development and very interesting to see what happened.
I never knew that trees could move by themselves until I seen this video. Cause ain't no way trees are supposed to be walking by themselves. This is for entertainment purposes. Some of these videos got people doing double takes. One clip shows a tree looking like it's pulling itself out the ground. Another clip is showing a tree shifting from other places, like it's searching for somewhere else to go. This shit is wild. Most people say that it's CGI or hidden machinery, or maybe roots breaking loose after some heavy rain, while others believe that we're witnessing something that we were never supposed to see. Like the forest itself is alive in ways that we just don't understand. Trees communicate through underground root systems. They can warn each other about incoming danger, and some trees live for thousands of years. Again, this is for entertainment purposes, but if you was hiking in the woods and you see a tree pull itself out the ground, are you running, or are you pulling your phone out to record? Let me know in the comments.
These trees are called Socratia exorrhiza. These special types of palm trees walk about 2 to 3 centimeters per day from their original place and about 20 meters per year.
Does anybody else find this strange? This is the cover for Meek Mill's new album. And again, you can see for yourselves all of the different symbolism on this album, because they always show you what they are about every single time, and this is no different. But maybe there's nothing to this at all, and it is just an album cover, right? Or maybe, just maybe, there is something more to all of this. I mean, we all know how much Meek Mill loved to hang with this guy right here, right? But then again, maybe there is nothing to this at all, and it is just an album cover. Maybe, just maybe. Or maybe, just maybe, there is something more to this album cover, because again, there is always truth if you just look and see things exactly for what they are. And Meek Mill sure does love to cover up that eye. I wonder why that is. I wonder why he likes to portray one eye being covered up like that. I mean, come on, you all. It is always right out in the open. But what do you all think about this album cover? Because this album cover is very bizarre, in my honest opinion. Comment down below and you let...
Life is not easy, period. Who told you life is easy? You have to go through tough trials in life to get through it. That's what makes you a stronger human being. A lot of people, they need coping mechanisms and all that. But if you need things to cope, that's not a good...
Thousands of people are crossing the border between Spain and Morocco by sea. These images were filmed on Tuesday the 30th of July in Ceuta, a Spanish territory located off the coast of Morocco. For the past 2 weeks, dozens of people have been crossing the border by swimming every single day. But that number rose sharply this Thursday, with several thousand crossing in a single day. Overwhelmed by this situation, local authorities in Ceuta are now letting most people enter the Spanish territory freely. Even so, according to the regional president, the reception centers are full, there's no room left for anyone. And local authorities are calling on the army to intervene in Ceuta and on Madrid to declare a state of emergency to guarantee the border's security and citizen safety. This is a developing story.
drunk and a spirit comes in. Your vibration gets so low, something else jumps in. So when you black out, it's not you. It's that entity that jumped into your body. So that's why you don't remember. You went away. That thing jumped in.
So when people black out, it ain't them no more.
It ain't them no more. And wherever they're at, whatever energy force, especially when you're a bar and you're around these, there's a lot of negativity. Whatever energies thrive on that, they're ready for the next host to feed off of. And once your energy elevates again, that shit comes out.
I never understood blacking out. And I'll say this on camera, like when I was in college, I drank, which I rarely drink now, but I always had people around me that would say, I blacked out. I don't remember what happened after this point. And I always thought either it was they just drank too much and then now their memory shut off, but the way you putting it is something else took over.
It did. And you
something else jumped into the vessel.
The law of polarity, everything exists in balance. And that's where a lot of these entities, they prey on the weak because there's people that don't know how to balance those energies. They'll let the bad day consume them. They'll let this consume them. They'll let this consume them, and boom, 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 and there it goes, there it goes, there it goes. There's where all these other things that are waiting to feel human touch jump in.
Somebody gonna wind up taking this man's life. Because when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. I don't even like saying this man's name. Because this man is a plant trying to start a race war. Chud the Builder shot a black man today. Then Chud the Builder, a.k.a. Cheddar Bob, shot himself. So basically, he was out trolling like he usually is. People noticed him. They start pointing. He walked up to them. Let me start by saying this. You got to understand that everybody not playing. So whatever he said when he walked up to them, I'm guessing the person that he walked up to punched him in his face. And after all this happened, I'm guessing he shot the man. Mind you, you got videos of him saying this is what he's out here to do. He's waiting for somebody to put their hands on him so he can shoot him. And after he shoots them, he's going to get off. Y'all letting this man play out here. But guess what? This man is going to wind up losing. Look at this. Listen to this clown, man.
I walked up to him because they were pointing at me. They were laughing. They were pointing at me. And I said, what's up, guys? How y'all doing? I said, y'all like the new suit? He said, walk away from me. I walked away from him.
Lying, man.
He came back up to me. He literally said, I have PTSD. I feel like I'm in. He said, you start saying all that chimp out shit to me, I'm going to hit you. He hit me. Started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him. He's still wailing on me.
Things like this ain't even funny. It's not funny. Somebody is really going to get hurt.
Okay, part 2 of the Russian experiment. So the researchers did what they said they didn't want to do, use the intercom inside the chamber to provoke a response. They said they were going to come in and test the mic. And in a calm voice, someone responded and said, "We no longer want to be freed." I'm sorry, what? Obviously, this provoked a debate with the researchers and with the military forces that was actually funding this experiment. And finally, they decided that they were going to end the experiment on the 15th day at midnight. So that was going to be this night because we're on day 14, right? So they flushed out the stimulant gas, and then the voices started begging for the gas to be turned back on. They open the chambers, the soldiers go in, the subjects start screaming, and so do the soldiers. What they found was that 4 out of 5 subjects were still alive. The food portions from after day 5 had not been touched. And then they found chunks of meat from the dead subject, from his chest and his thigh, stuffed into the drains, causing water to accumulate like 4 inches. Now, 4 of the surviving subjects had muscle and skin tore from their body to the point where their bone was exposing on their fingertips, and they later said was self-inflicted. But these 4 subjects had all of their organs from underneath their abdominal, right underneath their ribs, tore out and laid out on the floor. And even in that circumstance, they still put up a fight to try to stay in and get the gas turned back on. Fast forward to the end of the story, all the subjects do end up dying. One soldier also ends up dying by getting his throat ripped out. Another soldier is injured by getting his testicle ripped off. Another one is injured by getting an artery severed on his leg by a subject's teeth. Another 5 soldiers ended up dying weeks after this experiment, if we're counting suicide. But that is the Russian sleep experiment in 1940.
You've never seen a meteorite hit Earth, ever.
I've never personally seen one, but...
And think about this. If we're on a ball, And I'm here in the north watching meteors come. I never see them come up from the horizon. But if somebody was in Brazil watching that meteor shower, they'd see them coming up from the horizon because they're standing upside down to me. No one ever sees meteors come up. They all go down. What are they? Electrical phenomena, if you ask me, but I couldn't tell you because I'm not there. People say, what about the big craters like in Arizona? They're all perfectly circular. There's no meteor in there. Those come from within the earth, in my opinion. Some people say they're fallen angels, but I couldn't tell you.
You think there's people waking up?
As I said in the green room, shout out to NASA. Thank you for Artemis. You're making more flat earthers than I am.
Do you believe in the dome and the layers, earth and heaven, etc.?
So I could say I believe in the 7 layers of heaven or 13 heavens above us because I've heard stories about it. I don't have any proof, but I have proof that there's a dome. Are you breathing air right now?
Yes.
Air needs to be contained. It violently fills the vacuum. If I have a thing where I have a container of gas with a tube to another container of no gas with a valve. I turn the valve off. So I got a vacuum and I open the valve. The air goes up and away from gravity, equalizes. So it's half and half. Now, if I made that top container the size of a warehouse of a vacuum and I turned it, all of that gas is instantly gone. So we're a tiny little speck in this galaxy of emptiness, and we have air around us. And if that was a vacuum and it's not contained, all the air's gone, we're dead.
Yeah, but it is contained inside the stratosphere.
The stratosphere. The stratosphere is the
ionosphere.
The ionosphere was made up.
And that sphere.
So the ionosphere was made up when Marconi did his first radio transmission. He said, I'm going to send this radio, I think it was 10,000 miles or whatever. And they're like, it's not going to work because of the curvature of the earth. And it worked. And so they go, oh, it must be bouncing off of something. And they made up the ionosphere.
So if someone took off in a rocket and shot straight up and kept going, would they hit something?
Yes. So there's a channel that I follow on TikTok called Gas Pressure. Everyone's got to check him out. And he basically just asks people to come up and prove that rockets work in space. And nobody can do it. They go, well, rockets go to space. Show me a video. Every video you see, including Artemis, the rocket goes up very slow. It turns before it hits the dome. And then it goes out of sight and it disappears. And then you see cartoons on the internet. They'll just show you cartoons for the rest or holograms, whatever you want to say it is. But there was one, it was called the Go Fast rocket. I think it was sponsored by GoPro. I'm not sure, or Red Bull. And its rocket went up 72 miles and it was spinning, going. All of a sudden it went kerplunk right into something, not hard, something viscous.
Like water?
Like plasma, water, or something. And it stopped spinning. Now that's one problem. The problem is it stopped spinning. And we made videos about this. They went viral. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere comes this, MIT did this. They said, oh, they have this yo-yo anti-spin thing where the rocket sends out these yo-yos that literally wrap around the rocket and stop it from spinning. Like, no one's ever shown it. Like, where on the rocket? Why would you do that? That's extra weight. That's extra complication. And it was it was literally damage control. But the bigger problem with the Go Fast rocket, after it stuck into that plasma, it floated there for a little bit, and we could see the moon. Well, it took off in Arizona. So if the Earth was a basketball, Arizona's on the top of the ball, it was a millimeter off that ball. The moon was over Australia, which would be on the bottom of the ball. How could it have seen the moon? Now, you can make up all excuses you want, or you could just say, well, because the Earth is flat and the moon was just over there and you were high enough to see it.
No one has witnessed meteorites falling on Earth is enough proof that we are being lied to. How can something that big fall on Earth and no human saw it? You don't need to be smart to see through the lies, but some of us will, while some will not. Hit like and...
Information without experience is pointless. I can have all the information in the world, but the information never works the same way. The information is just a way to get started. But the information you got, you never use the information the same way you got it. It always changed. You never use information the same way. It always changed. So the information was never fucking needed. The experience was. The information is not needed. The experience is the true information. Listen, because without the experience, you don't have information. A lot of people have information without experience, and then when they have that experience, that information...
Pay attention to how this lady shuts this airplane door. Now, do you see how heavy duty it is? How she has to tighten down all these hatches to make sure that it's actually sealed shut? Now look at how this astronaut shuts this highly advanced space hatch to protect himself from the void. That really looks like it's going to do a lot of good work, wouldn't you say? Now look at this video from the Chinese spacewalk. Do you notice anything weird? It's a flat Earth. It looks like they forgot their fisheye lens back home. And some people say, oh, well, there's other Chinese spacewalks where it's a globe. Oh, like this one? The most realistic video you've ever seen in your entire life? Guys, this is an IQ test. Seriously, they are genuinely trolling all of humanity. And if you actually are falling for this, if you are falling for India landing on the moon with this space shuttle right here from Jack and Daxter on the PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, I don't know what to tell you. And if you turn a jet, like, you will literally pass out if you turn a jet too fast, because you're going very, very fast, sometimes faster than the speed of sound. But oh, you can go 25,000 miles per hour in these space shuttles or whatever, and you're just completely fine. No big deal. But I made this video entirely for entertainment purposes only.
Is there any kind of mythologies in there that these people actually did have some kind of rule in any of these places? They had dragons and then they could rule through fear and submission?
Well, yeah. Again, in Romania, the kings of Romania believed themselves to be of dragon blood descent. Their fathers were the Zmaj, and the Zmaj dragons. There's many stories and tales of women who end up with a spirit dragon partner or husband, and they end up getting really pale and sickly. They lose all their energy to the point of death, you know. They have like a mystical, physical/spiritual experience with the dragon in a dream, and then they end up pregnant. But these women go on to birth kings. These people are born to be great, mighty men of renown in the region. They become kings and rulers and mighty warriors. They're better than everybody else because they have this dragon element to them of some kind. So it's not as fancy or as like in your face and as obvious as like George R.R. Martin's version of that, where they're literally riding around on dragons, subjugating people as kingdoms, you know. Although there could be something said about the Solomonar. Maybe that could have been happening. If you want to see a really good example of a Solomonar in modern mainstream media, then you need to look at Skyrim and the druids on top of the mountain in Skyrim. It's the same thing. They have the dragon voice and they can communicate with dragons and they keep their secrets to themselves. That's kind of like a real parallel to European folk tradition within this fictional setting. I don't think there was people riding dragons ruling over people in any European traditional sense other than the Solomonar.
Scientists just had a 20-minute conversation with a whale using AI, and the whale actually just talked back. Dude, this is obviously about to sound fake right now, but this is completely real. So a team of researchers from UC Davis and the SETI Institute, which by the way is the same exact people who search for alien life, just dropped an underwater speaker off of the coast of Alaska. They played a recorded humpback whale contact call into the ocean, and a whale that they named Twain swam up to their boat and started responding. They're saying that for 20 straight minutes, Twain circled the boat and matched every single call that they played, timing her responses to the exact intervals between each signal. They say that she wasn't just making noises to respond back, she was actually matching the rhythm of the conversation. The lead researcher on this entire thing right now just said that this is the first official exchange between humans and humpback whales in the humpback's own language. Okay. And by the way, the reason why SETI is involved right now is because they're using whale communication to build intelligence filters, which is basically going to be training AI to recognize intelligent conversations so that if we ever pick up a signal from space, we'll know if something is actually trying to talk to us. We literally just talked to a whale.
One of my kids keeps walking there. I need them to hurry up. Oh, fuck the name of that. What's going on?
The boss wants this money. That's directly from a Wall Street Journal report that has blown the door open off of what people are calling an extortion operation led by the President of the United States, directed outside of the White House. Every night, according to the Wall Street Journal, Trump calls a woman by the name of Meredith O'Rourke. Meredith is one of the top Republican fundraisers. She is one of Trump's top fundraisers, has been leading his fundraising efforts for several years now. And he calls her every night to try to get an update on how she's doing extracting money from big corporations to support him. The asks of these corporations are anywhere from $5 million, sometimes as great as $50 million. And when they donate, they're asked to donate again. That's according to the Journal's reporting. And it's all being run, this operation, by the president, who, while serving as president from the Oval Office, is fielding efforts to enrich his political efforts, to enrich his ballroom, his construction projects. What we're seeing right now is the first modern day effort by any president ever, Republican or Democrat, to use the office of the presidency to fundraise tens of millions of dollars from corporations, and in total, hundreds of millions of dollars, and use that money for his own personal projects. People need to know. I encourage you to read the full Journal's reporting. Follow for more.
Can somebody explain to me what the hell is Annabelle doing in Aquaman? Shut up! Look, people are saying that's Annabelle in the water when he swam by. I'm not sure why she's there. Something's going on here, guys. What does this mean? This is absolutely strange when you really think about it. What in the world is Annabelle doing in the ocean with Aquaman? Shut up! That's who it looked like, right? Something's going on here, guys. I'm not sure why they put this doll in that movie in the water, but that's actually very strange. This is what people are saying, and you've seen it for yourself just like I've seen it. That looked like Annabelle in the water of Aquaman. I'm not sure if she's part of the Justice League, but something is going on here, bro. Aquaman would know, right? Why was that Annabelle doll in the ocean with Aquaman? It just doesn't make sense. People are asking this question, and I don't know the answer to it, so now I'm asking the question to you guys. What is going on here, guys? Let me know what you think about this. Why is Annabelle and Aquaman in the water when Aquaman is swimming by? Something is up. This means something for sure. Let me know. I'm out.
Listen up. I've experienced a lot of awkward silences, but the most awkward silence right now in the world is the vaccinated people realizing the unvaccinated people were right all along.
The answer is, if there are oversight hearings, I absolutely will cooperate fully and testify before the Congress if asked. You may not know, but I've testified before the Congress a few hundred times, okay, over the last 40 years or so. So I have no trouble testifying. We can defend and explain and stand by everything that we've said, so I have nothing to add. Under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions.
Every time I would lay down and I would be like this, and all of a sudden, just running back and forth across my bed.
Like
and
things you couldn't see?
I couldn't see, but I could hear them just running, and then I would hear. So every time I would go to bed, I would get so scared. Mom, please don't leave me. Please. Of course, like I'm telling my mom, always being like that. And I had a little Scooby-Doo nightlight at the end of I had a window and I had a little Scooby-Doo nightlight, but you would just see the flat. You know, whenever something runs between the light, I would just see that, but nothing was there. I would look over and I would hear the footsteps on this side.
What?
And there was times that I would see white shadow figures.
White shadow figures?
White, just people walking, and it's just like a resemblance, just like a little aura of a white, like just a white, like a white light. And like I would see them walking just little random glow lights, and I'm like, This is my mom's friend, or my mom told me, hey, Cassandra's seeing these things. Well, she came herself and put me aside. She's like, so you're not loca? She was like,
you're not crazy.
She said, you need to not have fear because your fear attracts them. These are low vibrational things. They attach or they come into you because of fear. You need to control it. Don't be scared of it. You can maneuver it. You can.
Guys, there is a wildfire that is currently burning inside of the restricted zone of Area 51, and people that were watching a live stream of it are saying that the government set it on purpose. It's currently burning inside of the Nevada Test and Training Range, which is around 4,500 square miles of closed military land that Area 51 obviously sits on. They're reporting that it was 1,500 acres on Saturday, it was 2,500 acres on Sunday, and now the newest update has it at over 4,500 acres. And by the way, it is still 0% contained. They're saying that the Air Force and the Wildland Fire Service are still out there, but they're using a confine and contain strategy, which just means they're boxing it in and letting the inside of it burn on its own. Doesn't sound like a good plan. Nobody's able to get near the fire, obviously, so people are watching the smoke through a fire camera live stream that's pointed at Bald Mountain. In the comments on numerous different occasions, people are reporting that it's a secret weapon, that they're burning evidence, and that there's a crashed aircraft under the fire, but officials are just saying it was lightning. Obviously, this is all alleged and a conspiracy, but I'm just letting you know what's happening. No homes and no structures are threatened at all, and the only warning is that the extraterrestrial highway might get smoked. I'll obviously keep you updated on everything that's going on, so so make sure you go ahead and add me now so you don't forget to come back.
If you rent an apartment, you already know that rent is sky high. But there may be some extra charges in your future. And why do I say that? Because a man came online and posted a video in regards to having guests over his apartment. One problem was his landlord wanted to charge him for them to park and come and visit. Have a listen to this for yourself.
So I personally just wanted to point out that I'm noticing a lot more apartment complexes put like the pay for visitation little signs up. Let's not get to a point of greed.
And it's already happening, in case any of you have not noticed. It may not be in a state near you, but according to Grant right here, guest visitor parking fees aren't isolated. They've been reported for years in complexes across California, Florida, Texas, Washington, Arizona, and more. And in most cases, they're justifying it by saying because of scarce spots, you need to reserve it. And one thing that they tried to slip in over here in the Bay Area, if you worked from home, a $200 work from home fee. That eventually was voted down. So it's amazing to see that as your rent continues to rise, you want to have a few friends over, maybe for an hour. Some places are charging $5 per hour. Some places are even charging overnight fees, especially if your friend stays over. So my question to you is, who's sitting around watching what you're doing and then charging you accordingly as to what the company comes over and stays for? Do you think this is fair? Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. And if you're experiencing this, I'd love to.
No, listen, I'm going to say this. And I never said this. I'm going to say this. When it comes to Rashad Jamal, I looked at him like he was complete guilty. Now I understand he was actually set up. Right? If you watch the documentary with Rashad Jamal, you will see that he never came in contact with none of them people. He's straight the only person I know that got convicted for having 100,000 followers on the internet. That nigga just had followers. Yeah. He never came in contact with nobody. So that nigga went to jail for having followers, right? But listen, he didn't go to jail for what you think he went to jail for. He went to jail because his aggression. See, sometimes we got too much fire. No, fire. Okay. Fire burns shit down. Right. He got burned down by his own fire, right? Listen, though he innocent, he's an innocent man, right? But he's not innocent to his fire. His fire burned him to the ground, right? Because this what happened. If you watch that documentary, he should not be in jail. There's nothing in the documentary that warrant a conviction. But yeah, he convicted. Why is he convicted? Right? But it ain't the message that convicted him, right? A lot of people got to understand this. It ain't the message. This is the way he acted. It's the way he acted with the message. It ain't the message. It's your actions.
Lil Wayne fans are freaking out right now all over the internet, saying that this person performing in his place is actually an imposter. And they really might be onto something here. He does move like Lil Wayne, kind of. But look at that face right there. That looks like someone at least 2 decades younger, and that's not even the craziest part. Right here you have a more clear image. Lil Wayne has tattoos everywhere, and you really can't see any. Sure, you could say that's the camera, but again, this is a pretty clear picture. And a quick by the way before we get into these tattoos, the Conspiracy Mail Club is now live. Physical mail to you every single month. If you want to join the mailing list, say Mail Club below. They may be destroying all the books, but they can't destroy our copies of these books. As you can see right here, all of his tattoos is clear as day. And now look, I'm sure Lil Wayne is going to see this video. So when you do, just let us know below, is this really you? To me, the tattoos are the least of my concern. It's that face. Let us know, Lil Wayne.